This video is a bit behind schedule, which I apologize for. Things came up and caused some delay, but I used that extra time to change things up a bit with the background and junk. But anyways, let's get to talking about Metroid Zero Mission. Metroid Zero Mission is a remake of Metroid on the NES, or Nestroid as I'll call it. However, I struggle to call it a remake as it's like comparing a freshly baked chocolate chip cookie to a piece of moldy bread. Zero Mission easily improves upon every single aspect of the original Metroid. So, I want to get into why I feel that way. In the year 20X5, the Space Pirates attack a Galactic Federation-owned space research vessel and seize samples of a dangerous parasitic life form discovered on the planet of SR-38. They are dangerous floating organisms known as Metroids. They are able to latch onto any organism and drain its energy until nothing is left of them but dust. The Space Pirates plan to clone the Metroids by exposing them to beta rays and then use them as biological weapons to wreak havoc on the galaxy. While searching for the stolen Metroids, the Galactic Federation locates the Pirates' base of operations on the planet Zebes. The Federation assaults the planet, but the pirates resist, forcing the Federation to retreat. Realizing they cannot handle this, they hire a legendary bounty hunter known as Samus Aran. Samus lands on the surface of planet Zebes, this planet being the very planet she was raised on by the Chozo, a race of bird alien that created the suit as well as the rest of the upgrades Samus will find below in the caverns of Zebes. On her travels, she has to fight Kraid and her nemesis Ridley, who killed her parents before the path to Torian will open. We'll touch on some more plot stuff later, but it's important to note that the game does not explicitly tell you all of this, as it's mostly located in the intro before the title screen and the text block at the beginning of the game. Metroid Zero Mission is a very simple game. You go around picking up items and getting guided by Chozo statues along the way. It's a great beginning Metroid game for people new to Metroid, and an even better game for Metroid veterans. I want to define a few terms before we start the review. Those two being the universal term for this genre, Metroidvania, and a term I like to describe the gameplay loop in this genre, the Metroid cycle. Since this is my first Metroid video, I want to lay down some terms that some may not be familiar with. Metroidvania. Metroidvania is a term describing Metroid and Castlevania games, since games like Super Metroid and Castlevania Symphony of the Night established this genre of games are like. Something I ought to explain since my first Metroid video. So the Metroid sequence is the sequence of the lack of an ability causing an inability to progress further. So you need to explore the surrounding areas to find an ability that lets you progress further. Then the cycle repeats itself until the end of the game for the most part. For example, in this game, the first encounter with the cycle is right when Samus spawns in. If you go all the way to the right, you'll come across a one-tile gap where Samus cannot go. Then you would go back to the left and you would find the Morph Ball, which would allow you to go through the one-tile height gap. That's the first example of many that I could use in Zero Mission. The next thing I would like to mention in this review is how well it controls. Samus controls really well here. She mostly controls as she does in Fusion. She's a lot quicker here. While I do enjoy the floaty and momentum-based movement in Super, I do prefer the quicker, faster Samus in this game. The L button is for aiming, while the up and down buttons on the D-pad control whether Samus aims, well, up or down. The R button controls whether Samus uses missiles that are currently equipped. This is really good for the sake of being quick. In Super Metroid and below, I always had an awful time trying to switch to missiles while being fast, and I don't have to remove my fingers from where they rest on the back of the Game Boy Advance / controller. The control scheme is very comfortable. It doesn't require you to move your fingers too far from the movement controls. Honestly, I wish Super Metroid had some type of controls like Zero Mission and Fusion. I also want to talk about some hidden techniques here. So two things from Super that were missing in Fusion were bomb jumping and the single wall jumping. Like I said, both originated from Super Metroid, and they were re-implemented in Zero Mission. They are mostly the same in concept, but oddly they switched difficulties. In Super Metroid, one wall jumping was easy and bomb jumping was difficult. But in Zero Mission, bomb jumping is easy and one wall jumping is a bit more difficult due to everything moving a lot quicker. It's all faster and more snappy, and in my opinion it feels better than in Super Metroid. The controls are great, and that's great. Now that we have covered the Metroid structure and the controls, we should move back on to my favorite part of any Metroid game. Hell yeah, man, we're getting to my favorite part of Metroid Zero Mission, in any Metroid game for that matter, breaking the Metroid sequence itself. You see, this game was created during the age in which speedrunning Super Metroid was becoming super popular. So the game designers created Zero Mission with sequence breaking in mind. This is in stark contrast to the prior Metroid game that came out, Metroid Fusion. In Fusion, you cannot sequence break at all unless you perform a super complicated series of glitches that reprogram the entirety of the game. In Zero Mission, you can break the game and beat it out of sequence in wild ways. Beat it with no items, beat it with all the items, beat Ridley before Kraid, etc. There are so many ways that you can challenge your skills in this game, and it's absolutely insane. I'm not kidding here. The game itself has built-in challenges you can do, although I wish it told you what the challenges actually are, since Zero Mission will not ever tell you. That's basically one of the only few issues that I have with Zero Mission. Single wall jumping and bomb jumping allow you to do so much in this game here. Let me explain the intended item sequence to get the Varia suit, then explain the fast item sequence to get it. Here we go. The intended sequence: Morph Ball, missiles, Morph Ball bombs, Power Grip, Ice Beam, High Jump, Speed Booster, Varia suit. The fastest sequence: Morph Ball, missiles, Morph Ball bombs, Varia suit. See? Much faster. In fact, playing the game and the intended sequence is a lot slower, and in between Kraid's Lair and Norfair for most of the game. With sequence breaking, you can go to Norfair, kill Ridley, then exit Norfair and kill Kraid, then go to Torian and kill Mother Brain. This streamlines the gameplay to be much more quick. One of the funnest recent ways to play this game that I have done is by seeing if I can finish the game with as little of the items as I can. So sequence breaking is really fun for that. The music and the visuals are very pleasing in this game. They are a lot less awkward looking than in Metroid 1, and a stark improvement over the graphics used in Fusion. Not saying Metroid Fusion is a bad looking game, it's just that Zero Mission looks a good deal nicer than Fusion. While Fusion is a lot darker in terms of tone and actual palette, I like the cool blues of Brinstar, the calm reds in Norfair, and the dark blue colors in Criteria are pleasant as well. Another thing that's pleasant is the music. I love how Prime-esque some of these tracks sound. Like Brinstar. And I feel like Norfair sounds oddly relaxing. And I really love Kraid's Lair. It's honestly still my favorite version of the song. Once you kill Ridley and Craig, the pathway to Torian opens up, allowing you to fight the Metroids and Mother Brain. The Metroids in this game are much more dangerous than the ones in Nestroid and Metroid 2. You are forced to kill every single Metroid in the area. Now, after that, you enter a room with Mother Brain, and we fight a much more frustrating Mother Brain boss than Nestroid or Super Metroid. including an eye laser that can knock you off into the lava. This is the reason why I pick up Screw Attack when I do under 6%. With Mother Brain defeated, Torian is set to explode. You climb the corridor with crumble blocks, but even when you reach the elevator at the top, you aren't done yet, as you have to escape out of a cave and reach Samus's ship. Once you're inside the ship, Samus flies off and you reach the end of Metroid Zero mission. Now in space you get to see Samus without her power suit, and you get to see more of her depending on your clear time and item completion. There are a lot of these. Haha, yeah, no, this isn't the conclusion section, Lamau. Samus crashes back down onto Zebes, now without her power suit. She has to find a way off of Zebes, and the only option is by stealing a vessel from a nearby space pirate ship. This is a huge gameplay style shift, and I honestly love the stealth section here. You have to avoid space pirates as well as objects that can alert them to your presence, such as trip lasers and cameras. Samus does not have any of her suit upgrades, nor her power suit, but you still have a security pistol that can stun the enemies, and your skill with the movement and wall jumps, which allows you to navigate the space pirate ship better. In fact, if you're skilled enough, you can avoid being spotted completely. Samus gets chased back into a Chozo temple, where she finds a wall carving depicting a Chozo in armor that looks a lot like the Varia suit. She regains her power suit, but we can see that the pauldrons are no longer flat like they've been all game, but they're huge and spherical like they were in Metroid 2. Samus doesn't just regain her abilities, but she gets 3 more. In a reference to Kid Icarus, Samus receives the gravity suit, the space jump, and the plasma beam. A new bombastic version of the Brinstar theme starts playing as you start massacring the space pirates that had plagued you for the last 15 minutes. Now you're the one driving them back into their ship, where you can find the last upgrade you will receive in this game, power bombs. And when you go back to the top part of the ship, you come across the last boss, Mecha Ridley. Well, that was easy. You now have one last escape sequence to do. You have to go to the place where the ships are stored. Once you're there, you have to fight 2 elite space pirates, which, if I'm honest, are harder than Mecha Ridley. After they are taken care of, you escape and win, completing Metroid Zero mission. Now that you have beaten the game, you are treated to an image depending on how fast you have beaten the game. The game has many reward images for completing challenges in the game. This incentivizes replaying the game and replay the game I have. Zero Mission is my favorite game to replay on a constant basis. Whenever I'm stuck somewhere, I pull it out and play it. I get so much enjoyment from the game. Once you complete the game, if you'd like, you can play the original Metroid inside of the options menu. I wouldn't really waste your time though. The only thing better Nestroid has is the superior suitless Samus design. If you're new to the series, I heavily recommend playing Metroid Fusion and then Metroid Zero Mission. They are the perfect games for non-Metroid fans to play to get into the series. You can find both of them on the Wii U eShop, but you should hurry on that. You know, Nintendo's going to nuke that in like a year. If you don't want to break the bank trying to buy it and you don't want to have the pirate it, you know, then you should get it off the Wii U eShop. Hey, thanks for watching my channel as well. Sorry this video took a little while. Things happened last week that made it a little bit hectic to get to this. Anyways, if you enjoy this, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to grow a channel here, and I would really appreciate it. I stream on Twitch occasionally, so if you would like to go and check out my Twitch, here's the link. Thank you all for watching.